There's one golden rule of life that is very important for all those who hold public office, for those who are all those who are in dealings with people called politicians, and not just in Kenya, anywhere in the world. And that golden rule is as follows: never make a deal with a politician, never ever, because you will always live to regret it, always. If you're serving a politician and they're telling you you're doing a good job, or you're doing a great job, you're the internal CS, or you're doing a wonderful job, oh, wonderful, wonderful, yeah, we're going to do great things for you, yeah, you would be very naive to soak in this praise and relax. Now, chances are that you're very educated, that you have a PhD, maybe even 2 or 3 PhDs, yeah, like a man called Robert Mugabe, yeah, former president of Zimbabwe. I think the man had a couple of PhDs. But a degree from an institution of higher learning, or even a PhD, is not the end of education. Yeah? Indeed, that is why when you're awarded a degree, you're given the power to go and read. A degree is not the end. A degree is actually a new beginning. Yeah? A new beginning to a higher realm of reasoning and thinking and, mastering a subject even more. So it just baffles me how somebody who has a PhD, somebody called a doctor, yeah, cannot read simple history and understand the very dangerous situation they're in. It just baffles me. Now, there was a very gruesome execution, yeah, recently, actually in August 2016, that baffled the whole world, and that has left the whole world dumbfounded. Now, North Korea has a leader called Kim Jong-un. Yeah, I think it's pronounced Kim Jong-un, something like that. Now, this guy had a very trusted lieutenant, somebody like CS Interior. Actually, this guy was defense minister. Yeah, he was a man called Hyun Yong-cho. Yeah. Now, this guy was very trusted, very close to the South Korean leader. Yeah. And I'm sure he was praised very many times that, yeah, you're doing the right job, you're wonderful, oh, we're going to do great things for you. Now, in 2016, this guy was executed in a most gruesome way by the leader, yeah, by Bwana Kim Jong-un, just executed him. Why? Because the guy fell asleep during a public meeting. Yeah, that was a show of respect to the leader. So the punishment for that, death by execution. And it was not a normal execution. Instead of using guns at a firing squad, they used something called an anti-aircraft gun. Now, as the name suggests, an anti-aircraft gun is designed to shoot down aircrafts. Yeah, usually military aircrafts, aircrafts which are armed, which are carrying bombs. Yeah, so you shoot them before they shoot you. Yeah, these guns have a range normally of 26,000 feet, 26,000. Yeah, but now when these guys were executed, the guns were put about 100 feet away. Not normal guns, these anti-aircraft guns. Yeah, so when this poor defense minister was executed, you can imagine what was left. Virtually nothing. Because at that range, the gun would just cut into your body into small, tiny pieces, which would be difficult to pick from the dust. Yeah, that's what it is. And this guy was the most trusted defense minister. In fact, at all times, you would see him seated on the leader's right-hand side, very close to the leader on the right-hand side. And this is how he met his end. Yeah, politics. Never trust a politician. Never ever. Now, I'm not saying you'll always get shot by an anti-aircraft gun so that your family has nothing to bury you, yeah, except soil, small pieces of body parts, very small, tiny pieces covered with soil or the sand of where they landed, yeah, which have to be picked from miles and miles around. I'm not saying you'll end up like that, but you'll end up in a very bad situation. You may end up in prison, or you may end up murdered. Now, let me come closer to home and give you an example of right here, where somebody who trusted the politicians, where somebody who was told you're doing a very good job, where somebody who was very trusted, ended up 6 feet under in a most gruesome, in a most pitiful way. Okay, we'll talk about that when we come back from the short commercial break. Please don't go away. Welcome back. Now, there was a time during the Moi administration, we used to have a permanent secretary in those days, called Hezekiah Oyugi. Now, I'll not bore you with the history, so I'll try and go through this very quickly. When President Jomo Kenyatta died in office, and Moi was supposed to return to Nairobi, so as to be sworn in as president, it became clear that some people were waiting to waylay him. Some people were looking for him to kill him so as to frustrate that plan of Moi ascending to the presidency. And of course, these were Kiambu Mafia chaps. Hezekiah Oyugi hid Moi in the boot of an old 404, and then drove the vehicle himself at high risk to himself. Because if these people had discovered what he was doing, he'd also have died with Moi, and drove that vehicle to Nairobi, and actually brought Moi safely into Nairobi, after the death of Jomo Kenyatta. And then again, during the 1982 coup, there was a time when Moi believed that actually the coup had succeeded and he was going to be killed, by whoever had instigated the coup. But what happened? Oyugi was there at Moi's side. And it is said, Oyugi told Moi, mzee mi niko tayari kufa na wewe. Something like that, which loosely translated means, I'm ready to die with you. Now, these two incidences neatly explain why Oyugi was one of the most, indeed the most powerful PS in the history of the Republic of Kenya. Okay? During Moi's tenure, there was a lot of stabbing people in the back, and many times, even members of Moi's own Kalenjin community tried to deal with Oyugi, but they never succeeded. The man remained a very trusted, loyal servant of Daniel Toroitich arap Moi. But the end of this story was indeed very predictable. What happened is that Oyugi fell sick, under very strange, mysterious circumstances, And even then, when he was flown to the UK, for treatment, what happened, according to a source in the UK, Inspector John Troon, who came to a Scotland Yard detective who came to investigate the murder of Robert Ouko, Troon says that what happened was that Oyugi actually died after being injected fatally, by agents of the state, who penetrated the hospital in London and got rid of Oyugi. Orders from above. And that's not all. In Moi's biography, Moi said very clearly that the person who was responsible for murdering Oko, the person who instigated, planned the whole thing, was a man called Ezekiel Oyugi. Moi said in his biography that he himself had nothing to do with it. It was all Oyugi's doing. Only a very naive soul would swallow a story like that. Yeah. However, you see how the guy ended up. And he was a very trusted ally of the government. And I can go on and on. There are very many cases. Okay? So, bottom line, never make a deal with a politician. If you're in a public office, serve the public. Do something that will stand the test of time. And extremely important, always do things within the law. When you're ordered to do things outside the law, it's better you resign, it's better you run away, it's better you do anything else but to do something outside the law. Because that thing will definitely come back to haunt you. And this too shows us very clearly. Now, of course, the latest case is what's ongoing at the IBC. I'll be extremely surprised, very surprised, if all the commissioners get away scot-free without any criminal charges, without any criminal proceedings made against them. I'll be extremely shocked if that happens. But even if it doesn't happen, you can imagine the anxiety of those individuals right now. You can imagine the anxiety of those close to them. Yeah. Imagine if Chebukati was your brother. You'd now be very worried. What's going to happen to your brother? Or even worse, if Chebukati was your father. Yeah. What would you be thinking right now? You'd be extremely worried. Now, anxiety and this kind of worry is a great punishment in itself. Okay? And the sad thing, it's spreading even to those who are close to you, not only yourself. It's not only you who's anxious, those who are close to you are anxious. Okay? Never make a deal with a politician. Never ever. And if you're in a public office, do only that which will stand the test of time. I keep on saying that. And now it seems the chickens have come home to roost at the IBC. And definitely Kenyans have no sympathy of what's happening there. Indeed, I believe the public will push very hard for some sort of punishment to be meted out to the officials at the IBC, the commissioners especially. And, it's sad because what were they doing? They were just following orders from above. They were making deals with the politicians. Never, ever, ever make a deal with a politician. And if you've already made a deal with a politician and you think you're safe and you think you're okay and there are one or two things you did along the road, you broke the law, shauri yako. Until next time, this is Kshs Kumekucha.